still working today. And I can't think of anyone better to help me share with you how to really put these 5 fundamentals into play into your business than my expert special guest, Ambassador Genesis Boyd. Help me welcome to the stage. Oh, we got Genesis Boyd, we have Amy Spence, we have Chantel Lyons, we have Leanne Burtness, and we have Ashley Hughes.
I love her. Ashley Hughes.
We were trying to get the lineup, and I didn't get that right. Hi, welcome. Are you guys excited? Did you have fun last night?
Yes.
I found myself as we're going through the party pad, like starting to share things we had talked about. I was like, oh, I have to save that. I'm really excited to have you on this panel. First of all, when I got an opportunity to meet all of you, I was inspired because sometimes I question myself. I'm thinking, I'm still doing belly-to-belly parties most of the time, and I didn't get to Ambassador in 13 months. I didn't get to Ambassador in 2 years. It took
No,
me 3.5 years.
she actually quit and restarted twice.
But you all renewed
Yeah, that's Mark's daughter.
the reality that the parties are the way that we build this business. And again, the platform may be different. I know some of you started building one way and you've added additional ways, but
Hey.
I just want you to know that I am so inspired. You guys are rocking it out there. This crowd loves you, right? We love you guys. And so let's just go ahead real quick and introduce yourselves. I want each of you to introduce yourselves and just so that everybody knows who you are.
Hey everyone, I am Genesis Boyd. I am an Ambassador Diamond. I've been with the company 5.5 years. I actually went to a wrap party, didn't sign up that night, couldn't be good about it. Stayed up till 3 in the morning, opened a credit card that my husband didn't know about the next day, signed up. So whenever you talk about those people that don't sign, just be good with your follow-up. I have 2 amazing children watching on pay-per-view.
How cute.
My son David is 8, he's my future blogger, and my daughter Taylor Emma gets more leads than me at rap events all the time. So
How cute.
hi babies, and then I have my most amazing handsome child, my husband Andy.
He's the best. He's totally the best. How about you, Amy Spence? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Amy Spence, and I have a daughter, Caroline. She's 3, and a wonderful husband back home. And a funny story about me, when I joined this business, I was introduced in August of 2013 by this crazy girl I just met named Ali Antonacci. And she stalked me all on Facebook. I didn't even know her. She was so excited about this crazy rap thing. And she would message me consistently for 6 months. And anytime she asked me about basketball, volleyball, how's my family, I would answer. But anytime she brought up it worked, I would totally ignore her. But
See,
I
that's
watched
what I was
her,
telling
and
the
so
girls
I
yesterday.
wanted the excitement that she had, and so finally I reached out to her, and when I finally enrolled, she sent me a document, and it said, recruiting Amy Spence, and she had saved all of the conversations, and it was like 4 pages of messages. So don't give up on those people that you know will be great for this business.
Well, and I love that, Amy, because I personally, like, I'll follow up with someone a couple times and they do the same thing. They'll respond to anything except the business. And it renewed in me how important it is to just keep reaching out. It's never no, it's just not right now. And you went Ambassador in 13 months, right? Definitely worth the stalking, I'd say, for sure. How about you, Miss Chantel?
Hi, my name is Chantel Lyons, and I love y'all. I joined April 29, 2012, and this is kind of funny. I'm going to share it. So I was watching Facebook. I used to be a Chiefs cheerleader, and all these girls I cheered with started posting about these raps. I thought that they were desperate.
I think you said, oh, those poor things.
I was like, they really need some help, so I'm going to have a party and support them. So I hosted
Sorry,
a
I
party
didn't mean to
at
flip the camera.
Throne. My amazing sponsor came to my house, and once I just couldn't believe what this product did. I joined. Actually, I sent my husband a text and said, hey, Mother's Day is coming up. I'm not going to tell you what I want, but I do want $99. Don't ask any questions. And so he was like,
there you go for Valentine's Day, huh? For people to have their husband buy them a business.
Grad school, we were paying for my grad school in cash. Money was tight, and it was a lot for us to spend $99. So I'm grateful he trusted my crazy instinct, and here I am.
Well, and you were getting ready to take a trip to Disney World, right?
Yes.
So what I love about every single one of you, for the most part, I think were introduced to this through a wrap party. And you only wanted to get some products at a discount. What did she say to you as you were walking out that door? Because I think this is classic.
It's amazing. It changed my life. So Stacy Conwell, my amazing sponsors out there somewhere, I love you, and I want to thank you for this because I know in her heart she must have had some fear, and she was getting ready to step out of my door, you guys. She took a step, opened the door, out of hesitation, looked back at me and said, you know, you're going to become a loyal customer, and that's fine, but I just want you to know, become a loyal customer, you're going to make me money. Become a distributor, you'll make yourself some money. Had she not said that, I never would have joined. So thank you, Stacey. I love you so much.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Become a loyal, you're going to make me money. Become a distributor, you're going to make some money. Love that. How about you, Miss Brienne?
Hi. I lost my voice last night trying to talk over the DJ. My name is Brienne Burness, and I'm from Kansas City. I have two amazing kiddos, Gavin and Ella, and an amazing husband. Okay, so I've been doing this for about 3.5 years now, and I actually got started, we were headed on a cruise also, and my best friend called me up and she said, hey, I heard about this wrap that you can put on, and I think it might make you skinnier before you go, because she knows my heart, and that's all it took for me. So I'm a believer, and we had gone to Melting Pot that night, and you guys, I'd eaten like 5 courses of cheese and chocolate, and I put that wrap on, and I could not believe it when I saw results. And I texted my sponsor, Liz Barton, the next day, and we were texting on the way to Chicago. I was signed up by the time I got there, and that was the end of it.
And you have grown very quickly as well. I'm excited. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Cammy.
I love her.
I think you're married to Thomas Hughes, that fighter, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, and I just got to take a trip out to Utah, so I've gotten to spend some extra time with you guys. You were my partner at the Dash this year, which was such a blessing that they just randomly put us together. But tell us a little bit about your story.
So
my head
I
talking to me.
joined this business almost 3 years ago. I was looking for an extra income. My husband was a scaffold builder, and he worked out of town a lot. So he was over in Wyoming.
Sorry, guys.
While I was raising our little 1-year-old twins. He honestly didn't really get to see them grow up. I mean, up to being 1-year-old. But I was like, if I could do something that could bring in a little bit of extra income, I knew that could help us, and that could also help us move out of my parents' basement. We had been there for 2 years.
Sorry, it's
so
showing
I
her
was
face
just
really white.
Thinking, there's got to be something that I can maybe possibly do that could bring in some extra income. And while I was looking for something, I was on Facebook one night and just searching on my newsfeed, and a before and after picture showed up. And it was just because my friend liked the picture. I wasn't even friends with the distributor, but because she liked it, it showed up in my newsfeed. And so I reached out to her that night and said, hey, I want to try this wrap. I was always skeptical, but I thought, I might as well try it and see if it really works. And I met her that night at a parking lot, put the wrap on, saw results, and then signed up that night.
I love that. And then, something I want to highlight here, because I think this will mean a lot for many of you. You met her in the parking lot, you got that wrap, and then really, you weren't sure if she was still in the business. I mean, you called her, you signed up, and then you were kind of on your own, right?
Right. So after that, we never actually spoke again. So I just totally did this watching by myself, watching eSuite videos and training videos on YouTube and stuff like that. So
did you do your own launch party?
Yes.
How did you do that? Like, did you just print off help us get inside your head? Because I feel like I hear often, I can't launch if you don't come launch me, and that's not the reality for most people. I think that's a luxury to have your sponsor come or somebody on your team come, and you did not have that, and almost no one really knew you existed within the organization until you won a cruise from one of your ambassador leaders, right?
Yes. So my very first launch party, I had a bunch of wraps with me, thank goodness. I wrapped 16 people there.
Wow.
And after every single person loved their results,
and they all got up, and I'm like, okay, bye. I didn't even think to ask them to sign as a customer. So, yeah. I honestly hadn't really watched any of the videos. I was just like, sure, I'll just start doing parties and selling wraps. That's how I thought I was going to make an income. So I didn't even think that I was ever going to make residual income or sign on customers or anything like that.
You were making a ton of wrap cash. I'm just so inspired by that story because, I believe that if you want this business, there's enough information out there for you to be successful on your own. Now, I agree with Mike. I love what he said yesterday. We're better together. When we fall down, there's someone there to pick you up. But I just am so inspired by stories like yours because, like I said, it was about triple diamond before somebody reached out to me and said, what are you doing over there? Because you were just blowing it up and very quickly. So, all right, what I want to do now is I really want to talk about the different platforms people are using to build their business through parties. And Jen, we live in Michigan together, and we work quite a bit together we don't do a lot of home parties together, but we do a ton of One Team, One Missions together. You and Andy are like the poster children for One Team, One Mission. And I know that when I send my people to your One Team, One Mission, they're going to get the party pad presentation. They're not getting a training. They're getting absolutely what we are telling them they're going to get when they get to One Team, One Mission. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're running your One Team, One Missions?
Well, I love One Team, One Missions because to me it's a big wrap party. And so it's super simple. You have all the documents in the e-suite. You literally can print it out. You know exactly what we're supposed to do. It's duplicatable. It's energetic. It's exciting. We're there to introduce these products to the guests that we're bringing in that room. And I just love sharing it with so many people because I'm the queen of making things up when I meet people. And I'm like, I have a wrap party on this day. And it's really a One Team. And they show up and there's 500 people there. And so I just love the One Team. We have rules within our business because this is a career for us. So we feel that it's very important to be consistent with it. We do them at least once a month. Our team has adopted that. If I am not able to make one, I know that they will have our backs. I know if I send someone out to LA, Barb's going to have our back. And it's just an amazing way to duplicate this business and get in front of more people. And so we love getting the guests there. That's what it's all about.
But before we talk about home parties, let's go, when you're doing these One Team, One Mission wrap parties, you get to that average income slide. And whether Pam's doing, Pam Souter is flown in and is doing the presentation, or it's one of us. Number one, you need to be a triple diamond or above to have a One Team, One Mission wrap party. A One Team, One Mission wrap party can be a hotel room with 30 people. So, don't think I don't have enough people here yet to do it, because it's kind of like that movie Field of Dreams. If you have it, they will come and they'll keep coming and they'll keep coming. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but tell me what you do during the average income chart to make sure it's geared towards guests, because this is what I'm finding in my traveling around and doing One Team, One Missions with other people. I think there's confusion and it turns into a training. And it's not a training, it's geared for our guests. And I know you're like, well, I've been there every month and I'm not learning anything new. Yes, you're learning exactly what you need to learn every month. You need to know how to give the party pad presentation, and then you're hearing stories, success stories.
Josie, how was the party last
night? So how do you
night?
ensure that it doesn't turn into a training?
I try not to ask about tips because we're there telling people, don't quit. And they're guests and they're thinking, why would I quit? You guys are doing amazing. And so I think it's really important to follow those steps that corporate's put out there for us and ask an aha, or ask what products changed their life, or how the financial end of it's changed their life versus
That's
tips
good.
and steering our guests that have signed.
Did you do the presentation or Monica?
Of one bad situation that was they want to teach. So it's definitely not a training. We make sure it's very clear. That's why we call it a One Team, One Mission wrap party. It's very important at that end of it.
The only thing I would say different than our home party is you might spend a little more time on the business because that's when most people are there. The other thing I want to let ambassadors know, and we talked about this on the phone, is we can hold the microphone as ambassadors. And in Michigan, we have there's a couple dozen of us that show up at these One Team, One Mission wrap parties, and we all really try to keep it to a minute. Because if ambassadors get talking 15, then it does turn into a training again. We just have to be really thoughtful about why we're there. So you build with One Team, One Mission wrap parties. You avoided getting to a wrap party in a home at all costs. And then you finally got there, and I know that's how you build. So tell me what you love about wrap parties.
And love rap parties. One, the red in me, it's the highest volumes I ever have ever because you can explain more, people understand the program. I also have noticed personally within my loyal customers that they are lifelong loyal customers because they are educated at that party about other products, our 3-month investment in their health. I love to make a joke and say, you're going to want to be healthy longer than 3 months, so you might as well get all these free perks. And so I throw those things in. I'm able to educate. I was a preschool teacher. My husband was a teacher. So I just really value really creating lifelong customers. Good. And then I love to analyze rooms. I love to read people. So from the moment I walk in that door, I'm figuring out who the next distributor is, who's going to be my 4 loyal customers, who's going to be the 3 to make that person groovy. And I adore them. They're just so much fun.
I love that you're already filling out the steps of success in that room through your head. You know what I like about home parties most is I get to get in the wrap room with people. And that really is where I get to know, like, what brought them here tonight. What are they struggling with just during the day, something they hated about their job, and it gives me an opportunity to talk about this business or just be a friend. And right, John Eric says all the time we get paid to make new friends and be a good friend and help our friends, and that's what I feel like we get to do at those wrap parties. Thank you, Jen. Amy, I know you're doing a lot of in-home wrap parties, but you were one of the most inspirational things for me when we were having our talk because the fact that you went ambassador in 13 months and you partied your way to ambassador. She told me, I partied my way to ambassador, and I was like, yes, I'm not living in the Stone Age because I party all the time, but I didn't get to ambassador in 13 months. So
Alejandra, are you a distributor?
It truly is what builds. It doesn't just get you there, but it keeps you there too. So tell us how you partied your way to ambassador.
Well, my first launch party, took 2 hours to launch me, which was awesome, but I remember no one signed up as a loyal customer. So, I had sold a few wraps, and I was kind of discouraged, but it was exciting because I felt more confident when I left there. So that's what I was trying to tell my team, always have your launch party. It doesn't matter if no one shows up or if anyone joins as a loyal customer. And then after that, I did a couple parties, but I'm an events girl, so I love bridal shows and craft fairs and just races, like 5Ks in your hometown, contact someone. A lot of times they'll just set up a booth for free, and you're constantly getting new leads. And so after I went presidential and I came to conference, I had done a show in December. The conference was in January, and I was 128 distributors away from ambassador, and I just knew that I was going to go ambassador. And so I followed up with all the leads from all the shows I had done, and just continued to follow up with my triple diamond, Brooke Barnes, who's not here, but I think she's watching. And her and I booked 30 parties one month. So it was 30 parties in February, and then 20 parties in March, and I went ambassador.
It was all from events. So cold contacts, first of all, which can be challenging, and when you do wrap parties with them, it makes them warm contacts. So I love that. One last question too before we move on and talk about Zoom. I'm trying to remember what you said, but I don't remember. Okay, we'll move on to Zoom. Okay, so Amy, you also are starting to use this new, and if you've never used Zoom, I just want to encourage you to go
Have you guys used Zoom? It's like a
Zoom. It's a blue.
It's like a group FaceTime.
Cool. But this is just
we'll try it out.
And the way I connect with my team. So
we used it yesterday briefly just to get familiar with it.
With your team and your business.
It's pretty cool.
Well, I want to give a huge shout out to Denise Squash out there. You changed my business. Anyways, she was my partner at Dash, and she told me about Zoom. I didn't even know Zoom existed. And so I remember when she left, I was sitting at the table with Lauren Katz-Mavis, and we looked at each other and we were like, we got to go down with that. And so we started implementing Working Wednesdays on our team, and then it kind of grew. This is how I connect with potentials who live in different states. It's so simple. You get them on there, you see that face-to-face interaction, and you're building that relationship. And also, you just go to the party pad. It's so simple. And so Zoom has transformed our business.
Well, and if you can't be in the living room with someone, Zoom is the next best thing. And I struggle, and it's free, yes. And I struggle connecting with my out-of-town team. I get to have that contact with my local teammates. And I know you said you do it fun. It has literally just brought all that connection for you guys and your team.
We do 3 Zooms a week. So I love getting shout outs to my team because I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for them. But Kayla Bass and Lindsay Bishop, they are two of my ambassadors, and we, from the very beginning, have always done team calls. And so that's what we were doing up until Dash, 3 team calls a week, and then we switched to 3 Zooms. And it's so cool because when you get someone brand new and you sign them up,
team calls on
you just
Zoom.
tell them, get your potentials on a Zoom and let me talk to them. And that's how we're signing people up, because I'm talking to people's potentials.
When you told me that on the phone, I was like, I'm starting that the minute I get back from, instead of saying, because we get together when we go through their hundreds list. And what you're saying is, hey, just get a few people on this with me. It's like their pre-launch, if you will. I love that you're talking about the business form, so they're learning, their team is growing, and when somebody signs a teammate or a customer, that's a win, and they're more excited to keep building. So I'm going to implement that for sure. Thank you. All right, Chantel, how are you using Zooms? Because I know that you've got a lot of team around the world, so that's how you're connecting with them. And you do it all. You do one-on-ones, you're doing wrap parties, so I'm certainly not saying you only do Zooms, but I was quite impressed by what you're doing on Zoom.
For me, Zoom, I'm a relationship person, so I like to talk to people, I like to listen to them, I like to make eye contact and build that relationship and really talk to them. And so Zoom, for me, I just feel like it connects so many people, and it's so nice because most of the people I sponsor are not local to me. And so they are out of state, So Stacey Dennis was in Texas. Back then I used FaceTime or Skype, but I was able to present the party pad and do her launch party, and she just held up the little wrap, And but it just connects you, and it lets they can ask me questions, and that new distributor can still be there and be present and show off what they're doing, but I can be that little hand holding them,
Well, and you said you actually have them wrap their gas before they bring you in on Zoom. Right. That was cool too, because they're still doing that first part of the fundamental. Step 1 is to all the sign in, and then step 2 is to the wraps on them in the wrap room. So they're still doing that, and then they bring you in for the presentation. Right. I love that. And what a great support, because it just gives people that boost when they're getting started and they're nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, how about you, Brienne? I know you kind of do it all as well, but you are loving Zoom and you do a lot online.
Yeah, I did a ton of parties. Like, I partied all the way till I got into Triple. And then my business changed. So I had to take a look at what I was doing, because I was enrolling so many people that were all over the country and all over the world. And so we had to find a way to connect that way. So yeah, we're using it for our team. We're using it for our parties. We do a lot of launch parties that way. A lot of times I'll encourage people to get other people, like for a little launch online, that are far away from them, like that aren't going to be able to come to their in-home party. And we'll do a launch party with them. They can see me do the party pad, and then they know how to do it for their in-home party. But I love them. I feel like when you can get in front of them and they can feel your excitement and they can learn a little bit about your personality. They know you're not just a robot sitting in an office somewhere responding to their messages. I feel like making it a lot more personal is really what has helped me to change my business. And I love getting my potential loyal customers and my potential distributors on Zoom calls also, because it just makes things so much more personal, and they can actually get to know me, the person that they're, because in so much of this, they do need to get to know you. We're not always going to be the first person that someone knows in this business, because, gosh, look in this room, there's so many of us in here now. But we want them to think of us, and by making their experience a little bit more personal, I think that's really what's helped me.
Okay, so I love that you're doing that before they're actually having their launch parties. Like, I think that's genius. And when you're bringing those distributor potentials and those loyal customer guests on your parties, they're getting to see how we help each other. They're getting to see that they don't have to do this business by themselves. I think one of my favorite things to say at a party is, you're in business for yourself now, but you are not by yourself, and you have a team, and I'm here to mentor you. I'm going to steal what you said yesterday. I'm not going to build this business for you, but I'm here to mentor you. And I think Zoom is an incredible resource to help do that. Hi, Ashley. Hi. I know it's hard to sit there as you're going through all of them, and you're trying to remember what you wanted to say and not be nervous. It's nerve-wracking up here. Aren't they doing amazing? new friends over being able to host this panel, and I am just so thankful that you're all in my lives, and I've learned so much from you, and I'll be calling you now. What are you doing on Zoom again? Remind me what that was. I just love how we get to just share and learn from each other. Ashley, again, your story inspires me. I mean, you are building this business for the most part online, like through Facebook and Instagram, is that correct?
Yes, that's how I basically built my business, yes.
But you're still partying. So how are you getting local people? You know what I mean? Because what I'm thinking about is, okay, so if you're all online, you'd be Zooming all the time too, because you party every week with your team. You have a weekly team rep party. You launch all your people, and yet you're building through Facebook and Instagram. I love that.
Yes, so if they do live out of town, the first thing I like to do is have them log into their eSuite, print off their party pad notes so they can glue those in. And I'm like, if you honestly can just read and invite people, you can do your party. But I used to Skype in. I will be doing Zoom now because it's way easier. But I would always Skype in to their party, and I would go to the distributor side. And so I would share my story. And then I also would send them videos of other leaders doing YouTube or on YouTube doing parties. So if they've never been to a party, they kind of know what to expect. But as for getting local people off of Facebook or Instagram, I don't know if anybody else knows this, but you can actually go on Instagram and in the search engine, type in a local place, like a restaurant or a movie theater, and then click places instead of the hashtag. And anybody that's ever made a post there will pop up. So you can just go in and start making friendships through that, and that's honestly what I've done.
Well, and I find that, you know, Instagram and Facebook have become like almost the primary way some of the new people joining today are building, because it's awesome to say I can build a business from my couch in my home on my phone, right? But what I love hearing from you is saying that does not mean I'm not partying. That is one of the foundational parts of your business, and you have a very strong business. So tell me what you're doing with your team parties. I love that you're doing weekly team parties.
So we call them Wrap Wednesdays. Every Wednesday I just invite my entire team that's local to me to my house, and I will do the party. So I do the presenting. I just have them, if they have wraps, I tell them to bring their own wraps so they can wrap their guests. But yeah, I just invite anybody over at the same time, same place every single week. And then I also obviously will do their launch parties outside of my house.
And you tell them to bring their own wraps, so they make their own wrap cash.
Right.
Plus you're not managing all that, which I do really like that. We do team wrap parties too. And I find we just have, it's great, like when, I think it was Mike who said yesterday, when you are not having a good day, get to a wrap party. When you are having a good day, get to a wrap party for someone that's not having a good day. And I find that has been so helpful for me. There are Tuesdays where I'm just like, I don't want to go to the team wrap party today. Today has been awful. But then I go and I'm you know, the money is awesome, but the life, the friendships that I've been provided through this business is just been, there's no price tag that you can put on that. Okay, so I do want you to share something with me. We put her last for a reason. And Ashley, you have a tough story.
Oh, she's gonna make me cry.
Triple Diamond, you won that cruise from one of your ambassadors in your upline. And when you got back from that cruise, what happened? You were Triple Diamond at this time, right? And now today you're ambassador.
She was
right.
home when it
so
happened.
the day we got home from our cruise, our 5-month-old son passed away, and for at least a whole month I didn't work the business. Obviously, you know, we were just kind of locked ourselves in our house for a while, and we had our twins still. They were almost 2, or they had just turned 2. But I remember the next month when we got our next paycheck, and it was actually bigger than the previous one, I realized what I had my hands on, and I just wanted everybody to be able to experience what we did. You know, I very easily could have just given up then and been like, you know, we made it this far, we don't really need it, it's okay. But I knew that there were other people out there that needed this, and I looked at my husband, who I had retired just a few months before, and he was able to spend every day with him. So I was just so grateful for that. And actually a month later, a girl reached out to me on Instagram, who later became my first ambassador underneath me.
And so you really just never know. You never want to give up. You know, there's obviously going to be hard times in your business, and all of us are going to be going through different things, but it only matters how many times you get back up. We're all going to be knocked down in our business, so really just, you got to keep going and know that you are here for a reason to bless other people's lives. You need to give this opportunity to everybody around you. You know, don't take that from them by not sharing this with them.
Well, and life happens. Number one, the fact that you only locked yourself in your house for a month, you know, what a woman. We all understand what that would be like, and what a blessing that you had been able to bring Thomas home, so you guys did have all that time together. And I that's what It Works is all about. I feel like the Lord used that hard time in your life to go out and give a gift to other people. And Kinsey said last night in a group with a bunch of people in my room, find something bigger than yourself to really get connected to in this business, because it's not the money, it's not a new house, even though those are all wonderful things, and go after those things, but attach yourself to something bigger than yourself, because this business is so much bigger than a wrap thing. And when I heard your story, I want you to know that there are days where I think, they don't know what's going on in my life, and this sucks, and I don't want to go to another wrap party or whatever. And I just think of you, and I'm like, Ashley would look at me in the face and be like, suck it up and get out there. You have work to do. And I'm just so proud of you and Thomas and the example that you guys set for all of us, because life is hard. It doesn't mean you just stop showing up to work. You don't just get to stop going to work when life happens. And don't quit building your business when life happens, because when you're not having a good day, it's going to be your It Works family that loves you up and brings you out of that dark pit, you know? So, thanks for sharing that. We're like all getting psyched up for this in the back. Okay, so let's go through, we got some time. I want to go through the 5 fundamentals again, and I want to have you guys share maybe a tip you do. Like, for instance, let's start with, you know what, I better talk about Facebook. I almost forgot to talk about Facebook. We did want to talk about Facebook events. We all don't I actually do them twice a week, but after talking to these women, I'm not going to do them as often, just because how Facebook is changing their rules. But they're doing them 1 or 2 times a month, and what I love about Facebook parties is I can do them after the kids go to bed. I can do them with my hair as a hot mess because nobody sees me. You know, and I can do it with my team on, you know, so whether somebody's posting and I'm answering questions. But again, we're just doing the party pad presentation. And when I invite my guests to those, you know, the people I just can't get to a party, or people that live so far away, I'm like, listen, you don't even have to show anybody you're on there. Now, if you want to win some free prizes, you should definitely check in. But you can just, you know, watch from your cell phone, in your home, from your robe, grab a glass of wine or some hot tea and just veg out with us tonight. And I'm finding that we're just having great responses with that. Is there anything any of you wanted to add about the Facebook event thing? I know we had talked a little bit about it. You're doing them 1 to 2 times a month or something?
You know, we were doing them a lot more frequently, but I found that, and you know, like people on our team are having them all the time, but as far as the ones that I'm hosting, we have one big team one a month, and we found that more people are attending when it's a little bit less frequent, because they're not getting so much.
Well, they're not getting bombarded with requests multiple times a week. Yeah.
Exactly, you know, and we have to be more intentional with who we're inviting now, because of the rules that Facebook's changing.
I'm so glad you said that. We have a rule. You can have 10 guests, and you cannot go in and just invite every person on your friend list. Like, you send them an invite. When they say yes, then you add them, and they have to click that they're going. If you have a huge amount of people that have been invited and a small amount going, Facebook is going to flag you and shut that event down, because they know what you're doing and they're tired of people not being thoughtful on social media. So we have some major rules.
And I feel like that has really helped. That's really helped us. But by me not having as many people invited and as many people there, then I can have all my message box up at the bottom, and I can sit there and be talking to them. And I know you said how you can be a hot mess, but sometimes I will show them that I am a hot mess with my hair up in like a bun and stuff, like with my glass of wine. Like, I'll send them a funny selfie or something like that, just to let them know that, like, hey, like, I'm ready to party, and just to be funny. But it goes over so well, and they love it.
Well, and you said when you're doing Zoom parties, your kids will be running around in the background, and so you can see busy moms are doing this, and I love that. You can include your children. Skylar will come sit on my lap sometimes and just snuggle with me while I'm doing trainings or team Zooms and whatnot. But okay, so let's start with the first fundamental, and this is where they get there. They're signing in. This is the sign-up table, and we're going to diffuse oils there because that's a great way to introduce oils without talking about every product in the product catalog. Tell me what you do. One of you had a really good tip you do right there at sign up.
When
Hi, Daisy.
people come in, of course, I welcome and everything, but every person at that party gets a clipboard with an order form, a loyal customer order form, and a distributor order form. And for those of you who are brand new and you don't have catalogs for everyone, just go laminate a couple catalogs that you get in your distributor, your business builder kit, so then you can pass them around and people can share them.
I love that idea. And Chantel, you said you take that a step further with that.
Yeah, I
clipboard.
Highlight the products that we're going to demo or the products that the distributor that I'm Zooming with is going to demo. So for sure, wraps, greens, fat fighters, defining gel, and then now I'll be highlighting the systems.
You'll have the cleanse on there too.
Yeah.
Well, and just so you know, the corporate endorsed products for the Party Pad now is going to be the It Works system. So obviously you're doing ThermoFit there, you're doing greens, you're doing the cleanse, but we're also facials, defining gel, but we're also going to include Fat Fighter still because we think having the Fat Fighter demo is very valuable. They can see what it's doing in their body. And then we close with a favorite, what's your favorite product? Because all of us have favorites, and I think when you have a favorite product that you love, you've got to share it with the guests in your room because they feel that passion. And I think there's a reason why certain people sell stretch mark cream like crazy because they love the stretch mark cream, or they sell tons of defining gel. I'm a cleanser selling fanatic because it's my favorite product in the line. Most people don't sell cleanser at their parties, but I talk about it. So make sure everybody highlights their favorite product during the presentation and watching the clock. Okay, so then step 2 is getting the wraps on people. Did anybody have anything they wanted to add on that? I wasn't sure.
I just love to make people feel comfortable because what I want people to know is people walk in there and some know nothing. The hostess may not have talked to them. I try to really get myself involved in that invite, but sometimes it gets a little busy and that might not happen. So I really put myself in their shoes. They have no idea what they're doing. Little funny story, I walked into a bathroom to wrap a woman and she was naked. So make sure you're letting them know. Come cozy. Different. It is first to market, and let them put yourself in their shoes because it's very, very important because they have no idea what's going on. And I thought they were playing a trick on me and it was legitimate. She's just done that every other time she's been wrapped. So it was a party in the bathroom for sure.
You're before we started. I've had the dress a few times where they're like, woo! Okay. But we're underwear today. Wonderful.
Oh, Josie, sorry I missed your comment.
So now we're to the actual wrap party pad presentation. And I think sometimes when people think about the 5 fundamentals, they're thinking about that party pad presentation. But steps 1 and 2 are extremely important. Like you said, making those connections.
Sorry, Josie, I couldn't read your comment. It went away when I looked.
Somebody that you forgot to collect the money in the beginning. And then at the end of the night, nobody paid. And you're thinking, my new distributor just gave away $100 and it's awful. So we got to help them know what to do. So then we're at the party pad. We're doing the welcome, the intro. You incorporate social media at the intro of your party pad.
I always make sure that I have people either with the host and myself send us friend requests while it's going on because that's going to help us later down the road. Let's say that there's
secure the sale, right?
Exactly. It's gonna help us for step number 5. But we're already starting the follow-up process at the beginning of our party.
Well, and not to mention, they may not decide that night that
oh,
it works
okay.
for them.
Yeah, because you're excited about those ones.
Live in the dream, friendships, fun, and freedom. They're going to come on board eventually. And like you said, that follow-up starts immediately. So, okay, so now how about you have something really cool that you do? Oh, and I was going to say, with that, we actually do a fun thing where we check in and tell them to tag us after they friend request us to actually get them to do it right then and there. We give away a facial. But we say whoever has the most likes at the end of the night, likes and or comments. So you know what they're doing? They're texting. They're like, can we cheat and text our? We're like, yes, you can. Because those are new prospects for us. Those are new contacts. And when people see all those likes and comments, they actually want to do the business because they realize I might have some people interested in this. So I love incorporating social media. All right, now we talked about, as you're working through that party pad, Does anybody have like a fancy way they introduce the loyal customer program?
I just let everybody know that they're investing in their health and that our company's amazing, and that's why I love them, the integrity, because they're willing to give you our cost so that you can really fall in love with it and be consistent, because it forces you to be consistent when you are investing the money into that product. And so for me, I really appreciate that corporate has our back and we don't have to take it out of our pocket in order to get these people to really value these products.
I love that. Okay, so now we're flipping over to the party pad, like steps 1, 2, 3. You guys have some great ways at the party. So let's quickly share a couple of those tips, because I think it helps someone to mentally go, oh my gosh, I can do this.
So what I do is after we get done with the party pad and going through some of the products, I ask them to write down 4 products that they love, like their wish list. We call it a wish list. And then I talk about, okay, now I want you to write down 3 people who you know that could benefit for some extra money or just some fun, freedom, and just new friendships. And so they do that, and then I ask them to write down 4 people in their life that they know that would like the products, losing weight or just wanting to be healthy, or like you, I'm a big fan of skincare line. And then I talk about, well, you just completed the steps of success, and then once you complete your distributors, get your distributors and your loyal customers, you can use your $120 of your free product to buy your wish list.
Love that. So they're putting down a wish list. So they're like, you and I know that once we say we want something or we write it down or make it on our list, we go get it. We figure out a way to get it, right? So you're showing them a way to get it for free. I love that idea. I'm going to start doing that. Oh, and who else is doing the 4 steps? Or is one of you?
Yes, I did that too. So I always hand them out a steps of success form, and I just have them be filling it out while I do the exact same thing you do. So it just really gets them thinking, if they weren't there to contemplating being a distributor, they all of a sudden are like, wait, I can do this. I can find some people to use the products, and I know people that need an extra income, so.
Okay, so then we move to step 4, or a fundamental 4, which is unwrap. Use the app now to get their after pictures, let them whistle, and start that follow-up from the company. That's also a great place where they're bringing their clipboards in, and we're going to have them start filling out their paperwork. We're going to help them get the individualized attention that they need. And then the 5th fundamental is secure the sale. Now, in a home wrap party, that might look like, making sure the paperwork is filled out and you're getting these orders put in online. But when you're on a Zoom party, or when you're on a Facebook party, or somebody's just not ready to make that decision, what are some ways that we can give our family out here, how to secure the sale?
I think it's important to find out what's holding them back. If there's anything holding them back, ask them questions. Usually it's 3 things. They're worried that they don't know enough people, they're worried they don't have time, or they're worried that they can't afford it. And so if you can ease their mind there, and Liz Barton gave me this tip, because I always get, I gotta talk to my husband, and she tells people, and so I tell them now, and it's true. If I would have told my husband what I was doing, he probably would have been like, no, we shouldn't do that. But so he's glad I didn't tell him, because now he's very happy.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, and, I've actually heard that too. I've heard some people be more aggressive and go, your husband wasn't here tonight. He did not hear my presentation. If he needs to know, let's sit down with him together, but let's tell him together, that kind of thing.
It's better to ask for forgiveness later.
I know. I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission any day. Well, and I use a 2x2x2 method with follow-up. And I know a lot of people do follow-up Fridays to help hold themselves accountable. So it's a great time to follow up with people that came to your party that didn't buy. But it's also a great time to follow up with people that came, like Facebook parties. We tell them
I didn't
the
do
minute,
follow-up Friday
next morning, go
yesterday.
ahead and check in with them and see if they're ready to place that order. We do little giveaways, so that's another great way to connect with them as well. But, have a system in place. My 2x2x2 is simply 2 days after, 2 weeks after, 2 months after. So even if it's my loyal customers I'm following up with, because they're my first line to hopefully be distributors someday. So, securing the sale is important. Giving a party pad presentation, but then not closing it, that doesn't help you build your business.
Whenever I am doing my Zoom parties, a lot of times I just help them sign up right at that time. You're online with them. You can either walk them through the steps of going directly to your website, or I'll sign them up on my phone on the app, and I will show them how easy it is to run my business right from my phone, and I'll be like, I can do this while I'm at the park with my kids, or I get examples of how I'm running my business from my phone and how simple it is.
I love that. You guys are amazing. What do you think? Did you learn any extra special tips on how to party? I am so excited that we have these 5 fundamentals in place so that we're all, no matter what we're using, how we're partying, we're not forgetting any of the fundamentals. And let me tell you this 5 fundamentals is available in your downloads on in your e-suite, so you can train your team with
Josie,
them.
can you
can
post
do
that in the
Zoom
group?
trainings with them. You can do, if you want to come back after the One Team One Mission Rep party's over to get some training.
Thank you.
We want to make sure we're emphasizing with our team party pad, notes, and here's the 5.
Can you share the link once I'm done? Once they're done with this, this part, I'm gonna shut down for a little while.
You guys, you did amazing. Thank you.
So if you could share the link on Facebook too, that would be good. Okay, I'm gonna end it. If you could just share the link, that would be great.